Welcome to the 200th episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. Thank you for joining us, guys. It has been an absolute pleasure. We're having an absolute blast here. And as you know, if you've been following this podcast, today's episode is all about giving one lucky listener a one-on-one coaching session with us. Now, we have been asking for you guys for weeks now to subscribe to the mailing list, to get your name into the mix and put it into the draw for this amazing prize. And what we have here is a ton. I don't know how many people put their name in, but it was a lot. So thank you. We really appreciate it. But before we get into that, I do want to give everyone here some value. That's what we're here to do. It's not just about winning a competition. Kicking it off, you guys might be interested to know. So I want to do the stats. I was like, what have we done? What have we achieved in 200 episodes? Okay, we've put out over 2,500 pieces of content. So when I say we've done 200 episodes, if you follow us on TikTok or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, it's going to be way more than 2,500. We put up 3 to 5 bits of content per episode. Multiply that out across all the different platforms, and all of them need a various tweak to them. There's over 2,500 bits of content out there, free, that has been delivered to your direct to your device or however you consume it. So that was awesome to see. We've had over 7,000, actually close to 8,000 podcast downloads. We've had over 46,000 minutes of watch time on YouTube alone. We've been seen, and this is the one that gets me excited. We've been seen by over 632,000 people across the world, across 65 countries. I don't even know what half the countries are that I had to look on that list for. So I don't even think they speak English. So I don't know. They might just be tuning in to look at my face. But that's awesome. You know, we can't do it without you guys, and we are forever grateful. We're having a lot of fun doing this, and so clearly you guys are enjoying it too. So we're going to keep going. Okay. And as you know, to celebrate, I'm giving a lucky listener a chance to go one-on-one with me. I want to elevate your desk or your business, okay? But first, I want to ask everyone listening a question, okay? I know there's a few people here who listen to every single episode. They might have heard this one before, but there's a lot of new listeners every single week. And I want you guys to just think about this question right now. Because what's this podcast about? It's about mindset, motivation, recruitment, performance. Okay? It's very simple. And a lot of people come to me and they say, Brett, I want to increase my performance. And I say, yep, absolutely. That's what we're here to do. And what people tend to do, particularly when they self-diagnose, is they say, well, it's my performance, therefore some technical parts of my job, it might be headhunting calls or it might be emails or whatever it might be, is where I need to improve. And when we look under the hood and we look at performance as a pillar, we also look at mindset and motivation. We actually also look at lifestyle. Because for me, performance isn't necessarily the root cause of why your performance isn't great. It's typically mindset, motivation, lifestyle, habits that have nothing to do with performance, but everything to do with performance, if you get my drift. And so I think the danger we have when we're self-diagnosing, or as a company, we've got KPIs and things like that. These are all just performance metrics to say whether we're on track or not. And the big one, if you don't have any KPIs and everyone has this KPI, is how much money am I bringing in? Okay. And so when that's down, people go, shit, I'm down. What's wrong? Oh, it must be the market, or I mustn't have done enough of this, or I haven't done enough of that. It's activities and whatever. And there is absolutely a place for this. Don't get me wrong. But I think it actually starts a little further back. We need to understand a hell of a lot more about what drives you, what motivates you, what gets you out of bed, what works for you. Because a KPI over here may not work for you over there, okay? I sure as shit know I'm not a morning person, right? So if you said to me, get up early, do this, and yes, I do that stuff in my own routine. I do it begrudgingly, but I do it. My point is, you want to look at not just performance in isolation. You want to look at mindset and motivation. You want to look at your lifestyle, and you want to see how all of that influences each other. Because I'm telling you now that they do. So my question to you is this. Okay, my question to you is this. If someone were to follow you around for 1 week, okay, they were to follow you around for 7 days straight, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, back to Monday morning, if someone were to follow you around for 7 days straight, would they believe that you are serious about your goals? Think about that. If someone were to follow you around for 1 week, would they believe you are serious about your goals? Freaking amazing question. Because every person I've asked that to almost sheepishly laughs and says, oh, yeah, they would, except for Saturdays when I eat a bucket of chicken. Or, yeah, they would, except for when I go and get hammered on a Friday night and, I can't get up on Saturday morning. Like, everyone has a little guilty shame piece, has a little guilty, habit or something that they already know is not going to be feeding into achieving their goals. So your goal is, to have a six-pack, right? And you're off eating that chicken. You're off having those boozy nights. That ain't going to help you. In fact, it probably derails you for an entire half of a week. And the same can be said about our goals at work. So many recruiters want to be $1 million biller, but have they put the effort in to create the habits, to put the mindset in place, to do the things that a $1 million biller does? Or are they just giving lip service? Are they just saying, I want to be $1 million biller, but if I followed you around for 7 days, I can tell you now, you're not going to be $1 million biller doing that. And I can tell you, it's harder to diagnose yourself. It's harder to diagnose yourself than it is to diagnose someone else. I bet you listening, it doesn't matter how young you are in recruitment, I'm sure if you looked at someone else's desk, it would be hell of a lot easier for you to diagnose them, where their shortfalls are and how they might be able to improve than it is to do it for yourself, because we tell ourselves stories. We tell ourselves what we want to hear. We excuse ourselves all the time. So the crux of this episode, other than drawing a name out of this hat, which I'll get to in a minute, is to just ask yourself, if someone were to follow you around for a week, would they truly believe you were serious about your goals? I am almost guaranteeing the answer is no, which is scary because I think so many people do this to themselves, but there's the opportunity, okay? That's the opportunity. Anyway, that is the point of this episode. Why did I bring that question in for this particular episode? I think because it is at the crux of everything, okay? You're listening to this because you want to improve. You're listening to this because you want to be better, okay? And so the one-on-one coaching that I'm going to draw out of this hat and provide is about recruitment mastery. And it is everything to do with not just performance, but it is mindset and motivation, and it is lifestyle. And for me, that recruitment sweet spot, I've talked about this to ad nauseum, is when you get all three of those areas right, working for you and your life. Because what's good for you may not be good for someone else, and vice versa. So every individual needs to get their performance right. Like, A, what are you happy performing at as a recruiter? B, what is your mindset and motivation routines? Like, do you feel positive? Do you feel happy? You know that it takes effort to be happy, right? You know this, yeah? Like, humans as a default will fall into despair, will fall into stress, will fall into anxiety. If you do nothing about your mindset, you will fall into the negative. Guarantee it. You have to actually, literally scientifically proven, literally actively participate in being positive. Okay? And if you're not actively participating in being positive, you will fall into the negative. So that's the second pillar, mindset and motivation. We've got performance, mindset, and motivation. And the third one's lifestyle, right? No point in earning all this money and having the best mindset in the world, but your lifestyle shit. You've got, you just literally get up, work, and then you go to bed and you repeat for 7 days straight. That's not going to work for you long term. You will burn out. What is the point? You need friends, you need family, you need time to yourself, you need enjoyment, okay? So for me, performance is one element that everyone thinks is always their issue, but it's that mindset and motivation piece. Are you falling into despair, or are you pulling yourself up into optimism and hope? And thirdly, have you got the balance of lifestyle correct? And that is what, when I pull a name out of this hat, I'm going to work with this individual to find out, to achieve, and to really find their individual sweet spot. I'm so excited, okay? And anyone listening can do this for themselves. It's just actively knowing what are those pillars that we're going to look at and how do we pull the best of those out. But without any further ado, I would love to be pulling his name out of the hat. We're almost at the 10-minute threshold for my desired podcast length. So let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to look, as you saw before. I've got lots and lots of names in here. Lots and lots of names. Okay? I was cutting these up, and I saw a few that I knew, which could be fun. I'm hoping it's someone new. Who knows? I have one. I have one in my hand. All right. Who have we got? Yes! Candace Jarrett. I love this. I love this because I know she's going to get so much out of this. I have spoken with her on LinkedIn before, avid listener of the show. Candace, I'm actually really excited about this. Congratulations, one-on-one coming at you. Look, for all of you who may have really wanted to be in that hat and to get some time, reach out to me. I'm sure we can do something. Guys, I say it every episode. Like, share, subscribe. It helps us grow. It's working, okay? You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Where we are now considered an influencer. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't even really think of it that way. TalentX, RCSA conference, they've asked us to help promo it. They've asked us to come in and do some podcasting, get us up on stage and do a panel. So I'm really excited for that in May. More detail to come. But that's all thanks to you guys. You're really helping us grow. You're liking it. You're sharing it. You're subscribing to it. Let's keep going. Let's not give up on this fun journey we're having. I feel like the next 200 episodes are going to be even better. So keep tuning in. Keep doing what you do. Mwah, stay beautiful. As always, have an amazing day. May all your deals come true.